I don't know why this bus is right here. I hope it's not blocking the bus stop. So anyway, not really sure why God has me documenting, you know, some stuff. Lord have mercy. I'm gonna get across this without Jesus. Why would they block the whole sidewalk? We're gonna go around here because it's dangerous to go the other way and then block the whole sidewalk. But and I'm hungry. Jesus, take the wheel. So anyway, I'm going back to school at an older age. I'm talking about I'm over 50. And I know I'm not the only one who God is speaking to about school. And you probably feeling like how I was feeling like, I don't even know if I feel like doing this. What? Huh? Was this about to fall through or something?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm trying to wait on the bus. Where can I stand?
Yeah.
Can I stand right here?
Yeah, stand right there. Maybe more.
Maybe more.
Yeah, because
It's where? How far down? I
yeah,
understand.
see that? Yeah, he come on.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah. Whatever. So anyway, there's some other people who are like me, who God has been speaking to you about going back to school. Maybe it's to get your GED, or maybe it's to get your LPN or some other trade. Or maybe he's telling you, you know, like how he's telling me to go back to college. And you trying to figure out, like, is that something I even want to do? So it kind of depends on what God is speaking to your spirit. I wasn't even thinking about school. Let me go over here and stand and shake. I wasn't thinking about returning to school when it came to me. And so then I had to ask God, like, is this really your will? You know, which I found myself asking that about a lot of stuff nowadays. I'm just trying to get out the sun. Lord have mercy. But if God is telling you to go back to school and you're older in age, just do it, you know? Just put in the application, start researching where you can go to school to get your GED, to get your, you know, to go get that trade, you know, medical assistant or phlebotomist or whatever it is that you want to do that requires certification, that requires schooling, you know? Just go ahead and do it. That's all I can tell you. Just go ahead and do it. And then just trust God, you know, for each step. I know for me, the Lord put in my spirit that if I went back and tried again, because I've been trying to get this LPN for 32 years, this RN for 32 years. 32 years, I start school, stop school, start school, stop school. Let's do it. But God told me that if I went back this time, that he would provide and that I would graduate. So I'm standing on that word. I've been standing on that faith move about a lot of stuff in my life. Even when things didn't look like it was going to work out. And I know a lot of people are like, Patricia, you know, you do the Bible study and, you know, talk about God and all that kind of stuff, but then you still, you know, deal with mainstream, you still deal with independent artists, you still deal with that secular music and all that kind of stuff. And all I can tell you is everybody got their own assignment, right? And everybody don't go to church. You got to understand that. Everybody's not in the church house. God will leave 99 to go get one. He will place his angels wherever his children are, whoever he's trying to speak to. So if he puts all his angels in the church, then what's going to happen to all the people who are outside the church? What, they just forgotten? No. God will send his children into wherever he's trying to reach or whoever he's trying to reach. So there are children that he's trying to reach that's in the music industry that needs somebody, who's on assignment to come and speak a word to them, or they need to be. God has placed his angels in different areas, and that's not just in entertainment. That's in different areas. Period. In politics, in the medical industry, in the legal industry, in your churches. God has different people that are assigned to be in different places, and every place is not going to make sense to the outsider. It's not going to make sense. And it don't have to. I know what my assignment is. I know where he placed me. So I continue to do my music ministry and Bible study because I'm on that journey right now of reading the Bible. And I'm noticing that it's real time. That's what's really blowing my mind. Like whatever is going on within my private life or what's going on in the world or both, whenever he tells me, all right, Patricia, it's time to move on to the next chapter, it always lines up with whatever is going on. That's how I know that I'm supposed to do it. But I've been under attack a lot lately. Jesus. And I saw this post that made sense to me. It made sense to me. When you're chosen, they don't talk about the other side. It's like you're chosen and trust God and he's going to make a way and stand on your faith and, all that kind of stuff. They don't talk about the attacks. They don't talk about the other side, rejection. They don't talk about the other side, dealing with your own, trying to figure out, is this you, Lord? Is this the way I go? Even though the attacks is coming, do I stop? Do I move? They don't talk about the other side of being chosen. They talk about the beautiful side, but they don't talk about the warfare of why they're chosen and how the enemy comes at them. The enemy comes at them. Kind of reminds you of the video of the guy in the tub. He crying because he didn't found out that his name is on the on the front line again as the front line soldier. He crying like, who put me on the list again? Because he know what he went through. Listen, you know what he went through. Listen, in this bus stop, I know you see me, so slow it down, bruh. Thank you, appreciate you. I ain't know if you saw me. Good morning or afternoon. I've just filled my car. Just on the other side. Did it go through? Huh? Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, thank you. Lord have mercy. Okay. So anyway, you gotta trust God even when you don't understand his plan. I go through and have been going through attacks for a while now. But you gotta still trust God anyway. And everybody can't go through the attacks. Everybody can't handle it. A lot of people would have been quit. Like, oh no, So if you're somebody who God has spoken to you about going back to school, go ahead and do it. If he said he's going to provide, trust him. I'm a living witness. If you know that God has chosen you for an assignment, everybody may not understand. A lot of people don't understand why I'm do entertainment. How can you be praising God and still be dealing with entertainment? That's because God has placed me in that industry. So in my group, the Atlanta Music Industry Group on Facebook, I'm always, posting spiritual stuff, inspirational stuff, God's love, because there are people in that group that need that. You don't know what people are going through. You see smiles, but you don't know what a person goes through when they're behind closed doors. You see, and that's any aspect in life, in every area. You go to work and you might see somebody who smile every day. You know, they always the happiest one in the whole daggone office. And then you find out later that they dealing with domestic violence at home. You know, they committed suicide, or you find out later that they in a mental health place, or they dealing with an illness, or all kind of stuff. You don't know what people go through. But they deal with a family, a loved one who they just lost, and they still mourning. You know, you don't know what people go through. And it ain't for everybody to understand why God chooses certain people to be in certain places. Because God didn't give the assignment to everybody else. He gave it to that person. So that's why I still do the music industry and I still do my Bible study. Because this is my assignment. God will leave 99 to go get one. And it doesn't matter where that one is. But somebody got to go get them. And God uses people. So if there's somebody in the political realm that God is trying to reach, he's going to send one angel to the political realm in that area. If he's trying to reach a crackhead who's in the crack house, he's going to send somebody into that crack house to go get him or her. If somebody's in a domestic violence situation, whatever, God will send someone to speak a word to that victim or help them get out of that situation or whatever. Like, you can't judge people's assignments. You just got to understand that God has us all on a journey. Everybody got a purpose. Everybody got a reason. Some people is different than others, that's all. It's different levels. The chosen thing ain't for the weak at heart, that's for darn sure. It ain't for the weak. Because sometimes you be like, oh my God, what in the holy smackaroni? Why am I going through this? Why? But anyway, I'm just here to encourage you. If God has instructed you to go back to school, go back. Go get that GED. The kid's grown now. Go back and get that GED. You got a babysitter now. Go back and get the GED. Go back. I always wanted to be a nurse. Okay, so all it takes is for you to look up and find the school that's in your area. You know, the communities, they got those LPN programs, or they got the community, schools, the 2 years, associate, so you can get your LPN, you know what I'm saying? For those of you who you're already LPNs and you've been like me, 32 years as an LPN, good grief almighty, it's time to get your RN. Why not? Shoot. And you can be like, oh, but it takes 3 years. Well, if you live, them 3 years gonna go by anyway. You're gonna be still at the same place, still talking about, man, I shoulda, or man, I've been a nurse for 5 years, I've been an LPN for 10 years, I've been an aide for 15 years, I've been a CNA for 20 years, I always wanted to go further. Okay, so what's stopping you? Ain't nothing stopping you but you. If God has put it in your spirit, then go ahead and do it. And I am prime. Listen, I'm 56. Lord have mercy. 56. I'm on campus with young bucks. I'm in this math class now, like, oh my gosh. But it's getting easier. I'm noticing that it's getting easier. That first test wasn't that easy, but the next one is easier. But I'm learning my study habits and what I need to do and how I need to balance my life and still let school be a part of it. And even when hardships came, I got in a whole car accident. They freaking totaled my whole daggone car. I'm talking about the battles, y'all. But you still got to stand in faith and you still got to trust God anyway. Because he's made a promise. He said in Job 22:25 that everything that you lost or you went through, the hardship, them years, all that kind of stuff, he's going to return to you. And it's going to be more than what you lost. So you got to keep that in your heart and in your soul. And just move forward in faith in what it is he wants you to do. I didn't even look at the thing to see if I was going to, is this going to the East Point Station? Praise the Lord. Okay. Listen, last time I got on the wrong bus. I got on the wrong bus and it took me all the way around the world before I got back to, and then back to where I started at before I got to the train station. So I'm just here to encourage and inspire. And it's so crazy because the last music ministry and Bible study I did, we went over, oh, this must be break time for her. She getting off the bus. The bus driver getting off the bus, so she must be her break time. And we're going to be sitting here for a second. So anyway, the last Bible scripture that I read was Second Chronicles chapter 30, and I read it on the 23rd, right? And it blew me away because the chapter is talking about the celebration, that Hezekiah had the country going through, whatever. And I guess the celebration initially lasted 7 days, and then they made the celebration last another 7 days, right? So I'm like, wow. So I'm looking at the fact that we just entered fall, right? Fall was what? Was fall Monday or Tuesday? I don't know. But also the new year, I think in the Jewish faith, the new year was yesterday, September 23rd. Or not yesterday, but on September 23rd when I read the Bible study. And it's so crazy because my daughter's sister gave birth on that day. But anyway, when I got done reading it, it was talking about, God really brought it to my spirit that, his word still stands. And that he is going to be sending out blessings and open doors and opportunities and things of that nature. Like, there's going to be joy and celebration. Like, there's something that's going to happen every 7 days, or within every 7 days, from now until December 31st, for his children who believe and have faith. In spite of what it might look like, in spite of what they've been through, is that every 7 days, he's going to show up in a way that you're going to know it's him. This is what I got from, when I read the Bible, did the Bible study. And the crazy thing is, I read it on the 23rd, which means there were still 7 days there's still 7 days left, or was 7 days left in September. So I'm expecting that something's going to happen by September 30th, because that will be exactly 7 days, right? Something's going to happen, and so he's encouraging me to have other people that spirit of expectation, because there's been so much heaviness in the world that sometimes we forget to still trust God and still have expectations for things, still believing that he's going to come through, So that's all I came to say. So peace and love to you. And expect God to do something every week for the next, how many weeks we got until December 31st? Because we're starting, when is it? I don't know what day the 30th is, but whatever day the 30th is, I don't know how many weeks exactly is left in 2025. But there's going to be something that God is going to do every week that you're going to know it was him. Expect something joyful, something blessed. Like for me, the blessing was my daughter's, my daughter's sister gave birth to a little girl on the same day that God placed that in my spirit. That's a joyful experience, and it was unexpected because that wasn't her due date, Every 7 days for the next 12 weeks or so, 12, 13 weeks. So expect it. Get ready for whatever he's doing in your life. It's fourth quarter blessings, y'all. Fourth quarter, kind of like football. We in the last quarter, and the devil been acting up most of 2025. Lord have mercy. But God always says the best will last, and he is not a man that he should lie. Anyway, peace and love. Have a great day.